We back.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Another Bridged Up P on Buzz TV.
You know what it is.
You know what it is. What we got today?
I don't know, man. What we doing?
Okay, I got a situation, man. And we need the audience feedback, definitely. Comment and tell me, what would you do?
Okay.
Let me put it out there. A friend of mine went on a blind date.
Uh-oh.
Met her online. They've been talking for a while, sending pictures and everything.
Okay.
And mind you, my homie, early 40s, late 30s, or early 40s, right? And the young lady, same age. So finally, it comes down to let's meet up. Obviously, that's where it's always gonna go to. That's where we always wanted to go to. If we like what we see and what we hear, mostly what we see in the beginning.
Okay.
So, he's ready too. I'm talking to him at work. He's a gentleman. You know what I mean? He's pulling out all the stops, the suited and booted, renting a nice car. Mind you, she stayed way across the bay. The other side. We from the Bay Area, so.
Let me ask you something before the story goes any further, because we got this on camera. Are all parties still alive?
All parties are still alive that I know of. I think they all are still alive. So, let me get to this. Because it takes forever to upload. So, come to work. He's happy about everything. So, he leaves pretty much right when we get off at 6. He leaves a little early. He's excited. He's like, I'm going to call and let you know what's going on. Because, this is not just a date, it's potential probably wife material,
Okay.
And so all night I'm wondering what's happening on this date. Like I'm really thinking about this all night, So I would tell my wife at home, talk to her about it. So the next day, I go, how was it? He didn't talk to me about it. I said, what happened? So he goes, okay. And mind you, side note, before I left, remember the part in the first Friday? He said this, She said she looked like Janet Jackson. She get out the car looking like Freddie Jackson. Well, he's like, that's what happened to me. I said, what you mean that's what happened to you? He was like, well, I went out there and I pulled up to her house. I didn't know. It was dark, everything. She had all the lights off. I went in the car. And then, so she came outside. So I made sure, I like a gentleman. When she was walking outside, I got out the car, came around the car to go meet her, and I get to see, what I'm working with and what she's working with. So I see her. Nothing like the picture. I mean, the face, he knew it was her, but it was her like literally 20 years ago. She was 20 years old, right? And I'm like, wow, so wait a minute. Did you actually say, hold on, let me finish telling you, right? And he's like, he had a lot planned. They went to like a couple different places. So he spent his whole night spending money on the car, clothes, everything. And not only does she not look like her picture, she saved a 20-year-old picture. And I'm saying jokes like, what, was she like farting on the date or something like that? It was like, let me tell you, I said, don't tell me she was pooping on the date. Like, no, she was burping and not caring. She was real grimy. He was like, she was grimy, she was cussing, she was telling me too much. I was like, well, she was keeping it real with you, right? She was like, they're not too real. Like, he went in deep on her. So I can go in for a long time on it. So my question to you guys and to you, we talked about it a little bit. I asked him, I said, okay, you went all this way. I said, did you bring up the picture? He goes, no. I said, he's like, that's mean. I said, wait a minute. Okay, first, would you bring up the picture? And I'll tell you what I said to him and what I would say.
Oh.
And you tell me, because people call me kind of mean, so.
I mean, with everything put into it, he said they met online, right?
Met online.
So they had never met before.
His pictures were current.
His pictures are current?
Current. He is everything he's into, his kids, and everything.
Yeah, I think I have to mention the picture. I would have to just know what I'm dealing with. I mean, people might call it a rude.
That's what I said.
But
you mentioned that picture.
You got to
mention the picture.
You got to, because you got to figure out what's going on here. You have, first of all, are you even with the right person? This might be her sister. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes sisters look alike, you know, and you gotta know, because like, even if that's the girl that you've been talking to, if she's sending pictures of somebody else,
right?
You know, you don't want to meet that person down the line and then be like, yo, that's the one I was supposed to meet up with,
right?
So you got to bring up the picture. I got, you know.
And that one you supposed to meet, probably not even knowing you supposed to meet up with her,
yeah,
because you got catfished. But you know, people call me mean. Most people are like, oh, why do you? I say, you're doing it in the nicest way possible.
How do you do that?
Okay. I did a lot of thinking about this situation. I mean, or there's a couple ways you can go about it without saying it. You know, since one thing I said, he said he got out of the car, right? And he went around the car to see her. I said, as soon as you notice in your head that like, damn, what happened, right? You could be like, oh, you must be your sister. Is she coming out? Is she running late? And she can be like, no. And then she can be like, no, it's me. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. That's the picture you said. I was just thinking about, you know what I'm saying, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool, you know, and then, yeah, and then she's got to say, oh, and then she tell you what the picture was. That's cool. Like, you know, I probably would go a little differently about it.
That's a way, if you just be direct, too.
I I will just kind of ask, like, you know, hey, where's your owner? Because I'm saying, like, did the picture have a pet in it? Because if the picture has a pet in it, then maybe she look more like the pet.
Like,
you know, I'm here to see the owner, like, you know, because the girl in the picture, obviously, you're her pet, right?
Like, she eating. I'm thinking of the way he's explaining it to me. It's like, y'all seen White Chicks when Marlon Wayans was dressed like the little white girl, went out on a date with Damon from Terry Crews, right?
Yeah.
Tearing it up. No, that was it was Marlon in the stomach all open and burping and everything. That's what I'm picturing in my head, how she was acting. Cussing, belching, and telling her, oh, my baby daddy, he ain't nothing. He was just in the pen for 10 years. And then I'm like, he's like, oh my gosh. But I asked him, like, he's like, she was speaking so foul. I was like, okay, she was bad, though. Looked good. But all that even matter.
Absolutely. It definitely matter. I mean, you can look the way you look.
But
you know, especially somebody that you've been spending.
You might let it slide a little bit.
Maybe for
I'm
a night.
just trying to keep it on. Maybe for a night.
But you ain't gonna
maybe for two. But you won't want to. But I asked him. I said, "You guys are mean." I wouldn't say that. I said, "But then why stay on the whole date? How does it mean that you spent a lot, not just a lot of money, a lot of time, and she don't know, because she don't know what you're going through. Like you don't know what she's going through. You know what I mean? You could be thinking this potential wife." And you drive all this way. I'm talking about he probably drove 80 miles.
Oh, man.
At least.
Okay. So I got another question for you there. If it was you in that situation, at what point do you bail, or do you bail at all?
Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I
always spent your money.
I've already spent, but they had two places to it. They were supposed to go see a movie and dinner and all stuff. He was out late. He didn't get to bed. He said like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning because probably just mad. He get home, whatever. Either two ways. It's gonna bother me. I'm gonna sit on it. And the longer I sit on it, the more disrespectful it's probably gonna sound. So I might as well just get it out of there, who are you? Like, you know, what do you have to say?
When she comes to the car, do you bail after dinner after she starts belching?
He could have did right when he said that.
Or do you go the whole night? Like, what would you have done in that situation? Would you have bailed right away?
Maybe like 10 years ago, I would have left.
Right away?
I would have left.
That's a cold piece right there.
I would have left right away. Because look, she would have thought she got catfished. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I don't know who. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I probably would have went to the dinner, and then once she started acting the way she was acting, talking the way she was talking, I would excuse myself.
But she looked like the female Quasimodo. Even if she looking like rough, you would have stayed the whole day. Let's say she was just but he said she was cool. Oh, she was cool. It's like somebody I would go kick it with, like one of the homies. I said, okay, but you ain't going to go kick it with one of them. I think he had a picture. He showed me the picture. Picture was cool. Picture was cool. You know, but y'all already know, y'all ladies, she took the picture like way up there. Hung it from the ceiling. She came back down. She had a little shirt, little cleavage. You know, she had a cute little pouty face. Little face like, you don't know, I'm a catfish. You know? So, you know, I say about 10 years ago. Now, I'll probably during the day, I have to say something. I'm sorry, because you could go through the day, and some people say, well, you could just do that day, and then you never got to see that person again. I said, yeah, you never got to see that person again, but you still took the time out. That's disrespectful. I think she owes you not just an apology, but like, well, why did you do this?
Yo, to that point, I will say this: if you did pull off right away, it would be 100% her fault.
I agree.
I will say that because look, ladies, you got to keep it 100 right away, fully,
just like us fellas do.
Right away, you got to keep. If you don't, whatever reaction that happens, even though that person's in charge of how they react, you still cause a reaction.
It's like a fight. If you go to somebody, like you go still them, and they hit you with a bat, is it unfair because somebody, hit you with a bat? Nah, you should have stolen that person. So
both parties got blamed. So
he shouldn't have stayed. That's what I thought. He shouldn't have stayed the whole time.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he was desperate. I don't know. But
ladies, fellas, what would y'all do? First of all, would you bring it up? And mind you, you're gonna be with this person for like 4 hours.
2-part question. 1, would you bring up the picture or not? Leave your comments. 2, when was it okay to bail?
A 20-year-old picture, mind you, they the same age.
20-year-old, like they had like the big frizzy hair.
She was from 20 to 23.
Was it a Polaroid?
It could have been taken from a Polaroid. Who knows?
God.
The picture was old.
The picture, if it's 20 years old, it's older than the camera or the computer that he saw it on.
How could you not like? To me, I was looking at straight disrespect. I'm sorry if I sound mean, ladies. I'm sorry if y'all, but you know what? It is what it is. So y'all let us know. And and just shoot us how you feel about this, and we'll talk about that.
And if you still got pictures of you from the 90s, and it's not picked out that it's from the 90s, take it down.
Like you trying to meet somebody, and you send them a a picture.
You cannot be out there wearing MC Hammer pants.
I was just about to say that.
All right, talking about this is you today, unless it is you today, but I doubt it.
Yeah, then it gets a little bit more.